Hello ladies and gentlemen, you're watching I'm Guitarman Hendrix and we are playing another Napoleon Total War. This is a replay, more of a battle, and unfortunately Guitarman wasn't in this battle, but this battle is epic nonetheless, and I just thought, this battle is so epic, we have to do this. And
firstly, can you stop spazzing around with the camera because I'm actually losing my mind here.
Wait.
Just look at something, preferably a tree.
Basically, what's going on? No, actually, wait. This is nicer. What's going on is that I've managed to put Napoleon Total War in windowed mode, and it looks beautiful still. My computer's still handling it. There might be a bit of lag when there's a lot of smoke on the battlefield. Yeah, but we're doing a call, and that's how Guitarman is looking at my screen.
Yeah. So basically, we're both just watching this video together, and we're just gonna comment. Maybe, I think,
be ourselves, our weird selves.
Yeah. But I think give you maybe some hints on what we're thinking, what's going on, and then comment people, see what you think, and we'll try and work out. We
will give you some friendly tips on the way as well, because this battle, well, you'll see what happens in the end. Anyway. These are my troops. You want me to just list off what I've got? I've got a foot guard, musketeers, Prussian fusiliers. This is basically my main variants. These are the ones I have, and I have a couple of those. I think I have like 3 foot guards, a couple of musketeers, 4 Prussian fusiliers, 3 Prussian fusiliers, and a Silesian Schutzen, along with 2 lancers and 2 cuirassiers. And my ally, I forgot his name. He has got basically the same army. It's Prussia. There's not a lot to choose really. But
I think this is quite an important point to have quite a balanced army. There's no point having like 18 standard infantry units because you just don't have the flexibility to deal with threats you could have on the battlefield. Like if you have that, the other person's got a ton of light infantry. They can just pick off your units quickly. You've got to have a nice balance. And if you've only got light infantry, cavalry charge, you're gone. You've got to have a nice balance of the two to, really have a good army and a good chance. What do you think, Duke?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And here's why you see my opponents. We decided Britain versus Prussia. That's pretty epic. And he has brought a Coldstream Guard, Black Watch, Connaught Rangers, foot, a lot of foot, some light infantry, and rifles. But the problem is he has brought 2 light dragoons. Can you see these? These light dragoons, they're not very good. You don't want to bring them along. Britain has got very good cavalry. And
I think light dragoons are useful because they're fast. Like if you want to get from one side of the battlefield to the other side of the battlefield, light dragoons are the way forward.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you can slip them through little gaps, that's what I use them for. Slip them through a gap, take out the other person's artillery. If you lose them, who cares? They're just light dragoons. If you've knocked out 2 opponent artillery pieces, that's a massive, gain. But let's say you're playing no artillery on this map.
This is no artillery and max 4 or 5. Don't know. I don't remember the rules, but I know there was no artillery. These are very popular rules. No artilleries. And as you can see, what's going on is that my opponent just sat back over there. Can you see over there? He just sat back. He didn't do much. Moved about his cavalry. Nothing much.
Wait, your opponent or your ally?
My ally. Sorry. And I took the initiative. I saw that this gap over here has got no light infantry, and he's trying to move them up. As you can see, he's got his Legion Lightfoot, King's German Legion Lightfoot, but they're not going to be that well, especially against my foot guards and my musketeers. So what I did, as you can see, I moved them up over here where the blue is. I moved them up, and they're going to start taking shots at the British just in this area in general. And all my main force, I've split up with a big gap in the middle, just to focus over here. As you can see, my foot guards are moving up to take the hill. As the hill advantage is very important. You need the hill advantage in this game. Because
you want to be going down a hill.
Look, he outnumbers me. Britain outnumbers me by a lot, and he's got a lot of infantry here. So I can just use 1 foot guard just to tie both these forces to these 2 units up and just neutralize them. But yeah, that's basically what my plan was.
I mean, obviously there's no sort of golden rule about these battles. It's literally about looking, thinking, where can I gain the initiative? Because I always feel, like, as you were saying before, Duke, about gaining the initiative, that's one of the most important things. If you've got the initiative, the other person has to react to you. And you can see the British are just bringing across their light infantry, realising that they're a threat from the Prussian light infantry. You want to have the initiative so the other person is reacting to you.
Exactly. But the reason why I'm focusing on my side of the battle, over there, nothing happened. What he does, he just moves about his men. The English person just moves, British person just moves his men about, brings his light infantry forward, and that's it. Just uses his cavalry a bit to scout the sides. But the Prussian doesn't really do anything, and that's what I was trying to urge him to move forward and try to engage it. Because look how far these light infantry are from the infantry. If he manages to attack, he can isolate them, neutralize them, and then he will have free light infantry.
Yeah, and so you wanna be, like, even if you're not attacking because maybe where your army is or your allies, especially if you're playing like 3-on-3 or 4-on-4, you can't just launch your own attack. But you wanna be in the position that if an attack looks like it might be successful, you can just get in there. So you might want to be just out of range, not able to be hit by anything, maybe behind a hill if they've got artillery, but you want to be literally ready. You see an opportunity, bam, you're in there, you've split their line, you've got behind them, you've opened them up, and you've won.
Here I brought my 2 cavalry forward to help me, because I saw these 2 light dragoons, and they're not very good, the light dragoons, but they can still wreak havoc with my Prussian Fusiliers here. So I brought in my cavalry, half my cavalry, just to make sure. So even though I've split my men in half, they've just got away from their advantage. He didn't realise his advantage. He just started focusing his men over here. That's all he did, basically, to try.
Generally, I think it's a very risky tactic to split your men in half, because if they decide, I'm just going to go after one, they can, if you've sent 3 infantry to one side, they're like, right, I'm just going to send 8 infantry against that one block and pull the rest of mine into my allies' body of army. Then you're like, you can be a bit in a mess.
Hey, what? Watch. I understand what you mean, but look at this part here. When you're like this, when you're in a position like this, where your opponent has split his forces up, it's big forces, both of them, but this is general weak. You don't retreat. See, he retreated over here. In such a situation, you just don't retreat. Can you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean, he's sort of losing the high ground advantage,
which he didn't have, but it's now getting even worse. Look at the steep hill already there. I just move my men forward. I can just dominate this area here. That's what you do not do when you're...
But again, I mean, if I see someone doing that, I'm pulling 8 infantry divisions surrounding that block and just annihilating it. I mean, like, that it's in a good position, it's got cavalry support, but literally 8 infantry divisions that will die, there's no doubt about it. And if you can turn on that, knock it out, turn back. I mean, this British guy isn't doing that.
No. Here. Now I think I open up the proper battle all over there. And there's a couple of skirmishes with the British cavalry and my allies' Prussian cavalry. I'm going to start off the engagement. I'm going to move my men forward. See, he left himself open here. What he does is he just left his men in a line. Now while he's done that, he can outflank me, but I can now engage each unit one by one, while each one has separate range. If you can see.
You can see he's in very thin lines. Thin lines are good because you get more of your men firing, but there are risks. Cavalry can hit through thin lines quite well, and as well, if it's this thin, you've only got one man shooting for most of the line, so you're not actually getting, that much benefit. It's better to be a bit thinner, a bit thicker.
2 lines, more than 2 lines is generally what I prefer. But when you get to very little men, then thinner lines could actually sometimes help. Over here I bring my foot guards to outflank and start firing on those King's German Legion to help put in the firepower. As you can see, they've opened fire. Devastating blows on them. They've already lost more than 30 men here.
How many of yours lost?
Less than 30. I've not lost that much actually, watch. I've just lost
16.
16. It's dropping, but...
Now, I find that you want, generally, I know this sounds really dumb, but you want to keep as many men alive as possible. Don't squander your men. Obviously, impetuous, but don't squander your men. And that sounds obviously like, oh, of course, I'm not going to kill my men. But sometimes people are just like, oh, I can't be bothered moving my infantry out of that artillery barrage, but do it. You know, because it might be the difference. Like 10 men can turn the battle. Like I've had battles come down to melee attacks between 2 units, and the one that routs first is the one that loses. And it might be 10 men difference.
As you can see, the first initiative action is coming on now in the battle. He has moved all his men back, but now lined up on my flank. Now over here, see, in this battle, I was playing it as much as I can, but at the half of the time, I was trying to persuade my ally to move forward. You've got this. Just move forward and try engage his light infantry to help. I wasn't paying as much attention as I should have. Now, I saw that he was trying to outflank me, so I did what I usually like doing, and that is sending my cavalry in. Now, contrary to what Guitar Man has just said, I like to send in my cavalry, even if it's like just for this, just to send them into square. I just doing that, and then I retreat that, and I'll retreat them, because when they form into square, they stop their momentum, they stop their outflanking. Gives me time to send these musketeers right onto my flanks and start protecting myself and start countering that movement. As you can see, I'm now moving it.
And as well, if you think of the number of guns they've got facing you when they're in square, because 3/4 of the men are facing in the wrong direction. Yeah. And especially if it's a non-arty, a game where there is artillery, someone's in square, you pound that with artillery, you're inflicting heavy casualties just because of how closely packed the men are.
Light dragoons attacked my foot guards who are into square, and my Prussian Fusiliers. Over here, and then I sent in my cavalry, but thing is, in this battle, my run key was just not working, so whenever I sent my men, they would always walk there, leisurely walk, while these Prussian Fusiliers would just be dying, and I was just trying to run them away, run, just not running.
But to me, what you've got here is a prime example of why not to split your units. I know I do usually like you're playing here. You can see there's like 4 or 5 British units surrounding Prussian units, and there just aren't enough Prussian units.
No.
So if you can just look at the number of units facing that one Prussian musketeers.
Exactly, but you forget as well. He has got now. This is why the opposite of what you're saying works to me. He had spent a couple of his units to my 2. See, he's still moving up. I have got my whole army here against a much smaller army. Yeah. Thanks to that split over there.
The problem is that not your fault, because your ally isn't moving forward, you can't move forward. So because you can't move forward, you're not capitalizing on the weakness. This is why, if you get a battle with a friend or someone you trust or someone you know, then, you can actually probably coordinate. I mean, I can just see on the battle map in the top right that there's just 2 random units just standing on a hill. Like, what the hell are they doing there? Yeah. Can you see your ally? Like, what units are they, and why are they just randomly there?
Because he had the British had cavalry here, as you can see here, but the Prussians now have dealt with the cavalry. But instead of moving forward, they have 2 men on the hill. Swing round, outflank them, do something productive. I was trying to tell them that.
2 units is a big thing. It looks like your general's about to die.
And that's exactly what happened. And I don't notice that my general has just been attacked. So again, I tried to run him out of it, and nope, he just tries to walk out of it instead of run, being a fool as he is. I hate my general.
So is that the death of your general?
That is the death of my general. But
see,
I stopped moving my men forward. I saw
morale loss.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you don't want to lose your general. But what he is now focusing on many things at once. He's focusing on the hill, where he's trying to make sure that my men aren't winning here on this area. And now what I do is just move forward and start engaging. And look at, he's in a very bad position. These 2 men are just doing nothing. So I can bring in my foot guards, which I do, just to flank a bit, shoot at those rifles a couple rounds, wait for them to move up the hill, which once my foot guards will fire at them, will do, and then I move them back and continue to shoot them. And I wouldn't have lost that many men as much as these would have lost a lot of morale. And so this would help me a lot, these tactics of separation. And over here you can see my foot guards. I tried to move them up to attack these in the back, but these came out of hiding, these foot, and started engaging. So my foot guards are now having a fight with foot.
It looks like you're probably going to lose because you're quite heavily outnumbered.
Yeah, because as I said, if you can see here, a lot of bodies here. This is me trying to make them run, and they're just not running, thanks to Stupid. And here my my musketeers finally were out after heavy fighting. You can see the bodies just still lying in the line. Now look at this. It's got three units. One of them is Coldstream. He's got his three best units engaging one of my good ones, one of my best ones. Now it looks like he wants to move on the fourth one. But look, I've now opened this area up. This area now I can easily just destroy. Just thanks to that.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm still looking like it looks like you've completely lost the battle on the hill on the right flank.
Yeah.
On your right flank.
I was expecting that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't know that would happen. Once I saw that my ally just wouldn't move. Now these men run out of ammo, so...
See, that's what I wonder. That's what I'm quite a believer of, keeping a line and then having the odd unit or two in reserve if your line gets attacked.
It's one of the many reasons why I saved this battle. This is the first melee. This will open the acts of many melees just happening all across the field. You just see lines just attacking each other like crazy all over the area here. So now my foot guards are engaging his 42nd and Connaught Rangers. Here's another mistake he's doing. Again, he's just focusing his best men over here. He's beaten my flank, but he's not beaten a massive amount of men that he could have with these men. Now I'm managing to win this engagement here. As you can see, I'm actually doing pretty well. It might not look like it, but this is what's happening. Look how thin he's stretched because he's not got those extra elite units that he had. And I'm moving my foot guards back because I saw his men attacking. After I
suppose, but you've lost quite a few units. I mean, if
no, I lost 3. That's what it was. It was 3 units, and a 3 unit. That's a massive trade-off for just losing 3 units as opposed to them. Not only did they lose, they don't know how to keep these 3 units busy. They did rout a couple of his own men. So for the moment, I've bought time for my main attack over here to gain its momentum. And here there's more melee.
I mean, splitting off a group of units is a very, very risky. Especially like, obviously this isn't like Rome or something, but split off a bunch of infantry in Rome. A good general. There's going to be a bunch of cavalry smacking into those infantry, and they're out of the game. And Rome too, maybe in the latest patch they've nerfed cavalry charging. But cavalry charging was absolutely horrific. And you just lose a unit. So I mean, it's just risky. I mean, but look at you now. Look, they've got all those men coming back. They're now going to be just attacking into your flanks. And again, I don't get this position of putting your light infantry in front of your standard infantry. I still don't understand that.
I'm now in a straight line, basically. I'm not in a massive hill. What it does is I add extra firepower in the same place. So these guys, you see my Prussian Fusiliers, they'll be shooting at their foot. At the same time, these musketeers will also be shooting. So in the same area, they'll be shooting at the same place, just with more men on it. It may add more risk of damage, but I'm getting more shots off as well.
Yes, I've just never really understood it. Personally, I prefer... I mean, to keep my lines significantly thinner than what they are, and then, you know, light infantry coming up around the sides normally, or maybe on a hill, just, you know, adding some extra firepower, staying out of range, because they haven't got the troop numbers to be in range, and just inflicting casualties from afar.
Yeah.
I mean, this British guy, I'm quite liking some of his tactics. Like, you've now got 1 unit covering your flanks against 4. I mean,
but look at his men. They are now their whole advance is covered by 1 unit. This is massively stretched. I have a more area of effect. I had here a lot of men just laying fire on these men here. These just in a building, by a building. His men over there trying to shoot him. He will have much less damage.
Yeah.
If they would because
do take into account these buildings because they do get in the way.
Yeah. And now I start moving my musketeers who are out of ammo up to as a suicide charge, because once they're out of ammo, I don't like it. They just don't look nice on my. And again, I'm trying to make my ally just move, and he finally allows to move a couple of paces. Nothing, not a good attack, nothing like that, but still advancing. It's still something as opposed to not moving and just watching me die and like completely get outflanked. So I try over here as much as I can just to keep him busy here, because if I do, I could be able to maybe just persuade my ally to move forward. Look, he's got a perfect lining on him. He could just move in and flank him, but he doesn't do anything. He's got these perfectly good musketeers, a hunt with 4 men. Just move it down the hill. There you go. You got perfect linings. But no, he just decides to stay behind. Maybe he's scared of these foot guards. But come on, you can do better than this. Look, now he's even moving. This is an example of what you would have done if you were in a fight. You don't do this. You don't move up your light infantry as much. Look at the massive gap between the light infantry and the main infantry.
See, that's a cavalry charge moment, but you've got no cavalry left.
Yeah, exactly. But it's still not. Even if you don't have cavalry, what you still have these musketeers on the hill. Bring them down, attack them, and just use your whole army to move forward. Just move forward. Even if you sacrifice a couple of shots from these light infantry, you still get more shots from your main infantry, and they will rout much easier. But he decides not to, because
I can see from the battle map now that you've lost the battle.
Yeah, I have. But
just because of the number of men that are coming each. I mean, I don't know. I
think here's another example.
Than this. I've seen you play battles a lot better than this.
Yeah, but take into account, this is just, I was just looking at this the whole time. They charged up. They were going to rout one of my. They routed the infantry that I pushed forward over there. Now they moved up against my musketeers, who beat off these Black Watch, who were incredibly good at melee, but they were exhausted, so they lost very easily. Now he's brought up much more men who are more out of ammo because they had that skirmish on the top there, and I've got now men on the flanks, shooting on the flanks. I got here, I just trapped half the army again in a small confined area.
Well, that's the thing, like, if you're fighting a big battle, sometimes concentrate like that fire at will button. Like, don't let your soldiers fire all the time, like, especially if they're at long range against like light infantry. Sometimes it's just not worth firing because the bullets will be more useful.
Look, notice this. He has got a couple of men firing while my whole unit's firing. He's got here men not even doing anything. They're just waiting in line to move up and get shot and killed by my musketeers. Can you see? He's just not focused because I have bottled his whole, well, nearly his whole advance just over here. And that is why I justify my tactic of splitting my men at the beginning on the hill over there. He's got them exhausted by moving all the way here. He's lost a lot of ammo on them and a lot of men. So in the meantime, my main army again just easily bottlenecked them here. Again, I run out of ammo.
So it's a risky tactic, but you know, if it works, you know, kudos to you.
Here's another charge. You'll be seeing a lot of these. I'll just be trying to get all of them. But it's a charge. I think another one is going to happen somewhere. I don't know. Here, this is my ally who brought in his musketeers. Decided he's going to help, but in a terrible positioning as he's now getting outflanked. You can see he's also got cuirassiers just walking around in the back doing absolutely nothing, while they could easily just charge and save me a lot of men. But nah. Again, it's an ally that he doesn't want to move.
There's like quite a lot of routing going on in the middle of the British line.
This is
this is a really good defensive.
This is General Picton, who British chose as his general. I just formed square and I'm gonna. I don't know. I just don't have luck in killing the generals. I just managed to rout them. See, point blank shot. Brilliant. Love that. Oh, it's going up.
Can I just ask? Is it like, for me? It looks very laggy. Maybe just because I'm watching.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
But is it laggy for you?
No. It's fine. Now watch. Now finally he uses his cavalry and he manages to sandwich his. I think it was King's German Legion, was it? Yeah. So he has managed to do something well, but come on. You should see this coming. Like, maybe move your cavalry. Once your cavalry are in there, you move them out again because they've done their job. Now move them out and get someone. Look, he's forming up. He's not going to do anything to you if you attack him now. Instead, he moves to the ones who are already formed and got bayonets out, while again he's presenting his flank to the enemy. And this is why I was just focusing half my time on trying to move my ally. Just make sure that he's not doing stupid mistakes, as you can see, like this. What? This is gonna be mad as well, but as again, melees. This is why I chose this battle. It's just because the amount of melees that go into this. Over here, there's just look at the dead bodies. All of them. Most of them are British. Just look at that. Just brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, you see, it's not like I think you did tell me that the British should win this battle, but I suppose you see the routing that's going on. It's
Yeah.
not.
This
It's
was
not a unanimous victory.
this was an epic battle that I should have done much better than I already did. If I had a decent opponent who had good coordination, I would have definitely won.
Do you mean ally?
Ally, sorry. I keep on saying opponent. And
Yeah.
here I just...
Because that,
men
it's about
automatically-
coordination. I mean, with a 2-on-2, but then especially if you're playing like a 3-on-3 or a 4-on-4, if you're not coordinated with your allies, you're dead, because there's no way you can launch a successful attack. Because it's easy just to, focus, all on one guy.
I think here I ran out of ammunition just as he did. So he's run out of ammunition. I've run out of ammunition. I bring my men who aren't out of ammunition to attack. So here is coming to what you think will be the end of the battle, but it isn't, because he's still got a big army going on here. There's still a big fight, and it's going to be another charge. He's going to send these musketeers into those Connaught Rangers as another charge, while they are attacking his shoots in the back, which is not very clever.
They're not facing the right way.
No.
I reckon we should try maybe Duke just see if we can find some other people who we know, and then maybe uploading some 3-on-3s or 4-on-4s. So that'd be pretty epic.
It would, but the problem is we need the people. We need the...
And the PCs to deal with it.
Okay, maybe not. We won't be doing it live, because live can take a lot of stress on all the computers.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
and
We
it'll be a lot of
save it
live.
as a replay.
Exactly, yeah. You can see
Maybe.
general staff just running in the background.
So maybe as well if we all got together at the same place, so then we didn't have to do it through Skype. It'd be a lot easier.
Yeah, here he's just, well, guess what? Doing nothing.
Yeah, you can see his lines kind of.
He's still got a decent amount here. If he used correctly, I could have. If I had his army, I could have won. For the meantime, I am now charging men. I having some more melees here, but
Yeah, it looks like it's been very close on your side, but he's just slightly tipped the balance.
yeah, mainly because just before I forget, it wasn't only his men. The men that you saw over here, these two units basically, they were this man. They were the person over here.
Yeah.
So the person over here lost his whole army apart from his Coldstream, which is still over there. But the person over here, he managed to concentrate quite a lot of his force onto me, and so I had much more men to fight. While over here, he wasn't doing anything. Yeah, there's a big
and that can be good. Like, it does take a bit of trust, to sort of say, 2 infantry divisions over here, take control of them, and do what you want.
I mean, it was very
I just
close.
saw light infantry behind standard infantry.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is what you don't. This is the
going
opposite.
on?
Isn't, because obviously they were shooting them in the back.
Yeah, this is like you stick them on, stop firing, or you move them out of the way. And half of those units look like they're actually firing into the ground.
Now what he's doing is that he's moving them forward, so they're getting extra shots in the back. But gonna just charge while these guys waste their ammo on their own men, and he's routed.
Yeah,
It's very epic. Look, you just see melee just happen everywhere on the whole map. All the bodies mainly from melee. This whole massive gap here, melee.
Yeah, I think we should talk a bit about melee because it's risky.
Look, just look at the lines just over here.
Yeah,
this
and
is
you've
where
got
his line was, and my light
when you're
infantry.
doing the melee, because like you want to make sure if they've got like a V shape, you want to be attacking the points of the V, not the insides of the V. Because otherwise you're getting fire from all sides. And if you're defending and someone's trying to do melee, you want to get as many shots on those troops charging as you can.
No, I'm seeing over here much more British dead men than Prussian. If you know what I mean. Don't know, that's not the same. That's just me because I like seeing red on the floor. They look like toy soldiers. It's like just lying on the floor after they get stepped on. Here he moved his Coldstream guards up. They look very nice. Thing about Coldstream guards, there's not a lot of difference between them and foot guards, apart from maybe a couple of their melee stats and their price. So if you had like a choice between a Coldstream guard and a foot guard, just get the foot guard. You don't need the Coldstream.
Yeah. Yeah, because you want to like save your money usually.
Yeah. Well, this is getting the closer of the battle, but there's still men coming. There's still a chance that we could win if he could play
Nah,
correctly.
I
But
don't know.
he had a
Looks.
good. He has good men here, like here over here, foot guards, just not doing anything, just waiting instead
Because
of
as well, if you hadn't lost your
flanking on the
general, you might
side.
have done better. Because then you wouldn't have got that morale penalty.
I agree, yeah, but what can you do? I wasn't in the best state of mind I could get playing, and here he's doing another charge. See, they're just charges everywhere happening.
But again, I think we should say like, dragoons. I think it was dragoons that killed your general. That's what they're perfect for, dragoons. That
No,
little
those are heavy
burst of
dragoons.
speed.
The heavy dragoons, of course. The light dragoons, no. The light dragoons, I don't think they're very useful at all. Unless you get one of them. Not half your cavalry. Half your cavalry is way too much.
Yeah, I mean, they're useful for killing artillery and getting somewhere fast, and light infantry. Light infantry, you defeat them with any cavalry unit.
His sword just ran away randomly. Oh,
I do love this game. This is probably my favourite Total War game.
The captain just died.
Oh, so...
This is now getting to the end of the battle. Any points you'd speak about for melee? What would you say? What would you say about how much melee is happening in this battle?
Yeah, it's quite intense, but it does often happen this way because you just run out of bullets.
Yeah, especially in this map. I mean, this map has so many hills. Your bullets will have to at least hit the ground. These hills here, they will have to at least hit the ground here a couple of times. So once that happens, you just run out of melee very quickly, bullets very quickly. So you just
but it can be quite like it's very difficult to do. But if you can do it, position your men like just behind ridges when they're under fire.
Yeah.
Just not put them on firing at all. The enemy's firing at them, thinking, "Oh yeah, we're inflicting casualties," and in reality, you're not inflicting a single casualty, and they're just losing a load of bullets.
Yeah. That's what you always look for. That's why I moved my foot guards, if you remember, early up. I moved them over here. I saw he had men over here. They weren't going to do anything.
Because we just saw those melee charges there, and they're just being destroyed by fire. So you know, if you're forcing your opponent to do that, you know, because he's run out of bullets, you're gonna win.
Exactly. And here we get into the end. He's formed square. I don't know why. Actually, I think I know, because I think in Empire, when you form square, it improves your melee stats. I don't know. Just something that I heard people talking about. So that's what he's done here. But I don't think it's going to help in this game. I think this game is more realistic. It's not. Making squares isn't going to help you against other infantry.
Sometimes it can help you if you're under attack from a few different points.
Yeah, if you were surrounded, form square. But there's one foot guards over here. They get to attack less people.
Although you wonder why.
But then again, he's just using this ability. The British is just using the ability to shoot the.
Yeah, I suppose maybe his square helps pin down those units on the edge of the square, so then his unit on the hill can shoot down.
Thing is though, look how blobbed up they are here. If they were spread out, it would have been less bullets likely to hit the square itself. I mean, think about Johnny. He's not coming home because John over there shot him. Just think about that, yeah. It's like things like that matter.
Yeah, friendly fire is something you have to think about. Ah, so this is the end.
This is the end. These are the men I played for. I didn't do that well as I should.
See how close it was, though.
Everyone got basically the same. Everyone basically got the same.
I think everyone pretty much lost more than they killed, apart from Patricio 218, who killed 4 more.
No, killed 4 more. That was pretty funny. Anyway, I think that's going to be it. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you next time.
Bye.